A significant case review into the death of toddler Mikaeel Kular has found that the circumstances leading to it could not have been predicted. The Joint Chief Officers Group of Fife and Edinburgh said it would not be appropriate to release the full report. It concludes that the ability of Mikael's mother, Rosdeep Adekoya, to physically care for the 3-year-old was never in question. Adekoya was jailed for 11 years in July after admitting culpable homicide. Mikaeel died 2 days after being beaten by Adekoya at the family's flat in Edinburgh in January 2014. She put his body in a suitcase, which she dumped behind her sister's house 20 miles away in Kirkcaldy, Fife. However, she told police that Mikaeel had disappeared from her home, leading to a major 2-day search. Mikael's father Zahid Saeed said, "Firstly, the report offers no real answer about what actually happened in this particular case. Secondly, the biggest disappointment is Fife Council took no responsibility for their dealings with Mikaeel and his siblings. I feel that the social work department have failed in their duties to protect my children." The report identified examples of good practice but also identified 13 areas for future learning and action for NHS Fife, Fife Social Work Services and other organisations including the Scottish Government. Steve Grimmond, chairman of the group of senior council officers for Fife and Edinburgh which commissioned the review, said it had been led an independent expert with vast experience in the field of child protection. He said, "Over the past few months Moira McKinnon has conducted interviews with all relevant staff from each of the agencies involved in this case and scrutinised files, policies, and procedures. What is being published today is an independent, thorough, and comprehensive summary of her findings, and it is important to stress that we are being as open and transparent as we can possibly be." He said it would not be appropriate to publish the full report as it contained detailed, personal and private information. Mr. Grimmond said, "The central finding of the report states that the circumstances that led to Mikael's death could not have been predicted. Ms. Adekoya's ability to physically care for him was never in question. She felt a need for space and time that resulted in him being left unattended and is the reason he was placed in foster care. It's important to stress that professionals who had regular contact with the family never had any concerns about the physical care of Mikaeel throughout this case. The decision to return Mikaeel to his mother's care was taken by a range of professionals who agreed that he was well looked after and that he had been in foster care long enough. All agencies involved with Mikaeel were clear in their view that he should return home, and this position was fully endorsed by a children's hearing." Mr. Grimmond said the report did identify some learning points to improve and strengthen its practices. A Scottish Government spokesman said, "The sudden, unnatural death of any child is a tragedy, and the untimely death of Mikaeel Kular continues to reverberate across Scotland and in particular the communities in Fife and Edinburgh where he lived. The Scottish Government therefore welcomes the urgency with which this significant case review was undertaken and its speedy conclusion and focused actions, which we are sure will now be considered and acted upon by all the appropriate agencies timelessly. We accept the recommendation directed at the Scottish Government and we will consider the implications of the report very carefully."